Okay, up-tempo comping. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? Why don't we watch a video of me playing this first, and then we'll talk about some of the things that I did. Check out this video. So some of you out there may be wondering what was going through my mind when I was playing with that ensemble. And I'm just basically going to give you kind of an overview of what my general thought process is, and hopefully give you a few things to think about playing, you know, when you're working on your up-tempo vocabulary. So you have to remember that you're playing a supportive role here, and that sometimes the best thing you could do is very little, if anything. If you listen to the masters like Philly Joe, Art Blakey, Max Roach, Kenny Clark, and you really take a close listen at what their comping is happening, or what's going on in their comping during the solos, sometimes it's very, very simple. You know, so I'd say the best place to start would be with just the foundation, meaning like maybe feathering the bass drum, ride cymbal pattern, and 2 and 4 on the hi-hats. So with that tune, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm referencing a tune now that's different than that tune that we started with. That was a tune called Cherokee, and it's from a famous record called Study in Brown, and that's with Clifford Brown's record featuring Max Roach on drums. So, you know, I kind of started really simply, not playing too much on the snare drum or the bass drum, other than feathering and just using the foundation. But now, once things kind of start to open up a little bit, you can kind of start testing the waters. And one current that I like to use is the every third beat. So it doesn't always have to start on beat 1. It could start on beat 2 or wherever. But it's very commonly done with jazz drummers, and it has been for many, many years. So something that if you watched the video that I played with the other guys, this kind of current might have happened quite a few times. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, another thing would be to think in large terms. Instead of trying to play really fast, intricate rhythms on the snare drum and the bass drum, think broader. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. In other words, think in larger phrases. 1, 2, 3, so those are 4-bar phrases right there. Now, how does that translate to playing? Something like this: 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, here's an example of Philly Joe Jones playing with the Miles Davis Quintet on his recording Roundabout Midnight. The song is Salt Peanuts, and he plays the first chorus of Time behind Red Garland, and he plays the up-tempo time pattern on a half-open hi-hat. It sounds like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that example illustrates simplicity of what he's playing between the bass drum and the snare drum. Coincidentally, it would be a good thing for you to work on just playing the half-open hi-hat like that. It's a really good exercise. When you're playing fast, it's more about hearing fast and being able to react fast than it is about necessarily having the chops to play fast. So that should come into your study a little bit when you're listening to these recordings and playing along with them. Always listen to the horn player and try to hear where his time is and use that as a reference to where you play your time. Okay, I did something in the example of me playing with Mike LeDon's trio where I broke the time up between the right hand and a rudimental sticking. I used a paradiddle diddle, and it's a good way to give your hand a break if you're getting tired from playing the ding dagga ding dagga ding dagga ding dagga ding, which is a good thing to be able to sustain for a long time, but sometimes it's so fast that you have to do things a la Max Roach that would give your hand a little bit of a break. So here it is, and I'll show it in slow motion and how it applies in an up-tempo context. Okay, so you can play which implies the 3-beat group that we've already talked about. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're out there watching these videos and you're enjoying the content, if you do me a favor and go ahead and like and subscribe it, that would be very, very helpful to me. Also, if you have any questions that you want to leave in the comment section, I'll do my best to answer in future videos. So, all right, in closing, I would just say that there are innumerable books out there that you can study. One that comes to mind immediately, John Riley's book called The Art of Bop Drumming. There's Advanced Techniques for the Modern Drummer by Jim Chapin. Of course, I would certainly take a look into Ted Reed's famous book called Progressive Steps to Syncopation, as well as Stick Control. And there's lots of ways that you can use rhythms in both syncopation and stick control in developing your independence over here on the drum kit with the up-tempo ride cymbal. So I would say if you want to learn to authentically play this style and have a working vocabulary, you have to understand that we're not working on licks here. This is not a lick-based way of playing. You have to build a working vocabulary, and you build that by listening to our musical forefathers. All the guys that I mentioned earlier would be good examples. Art Blakey, Max Roach, Kenny Clark, Philly Joe Jones, Roy Haynes, Lewis Hayes. The list goes on and on and on. Find recordings of those guys, and especially at up tempos that you could check out. Also, don't get into the paint by numbers mindset in that, say for instance, you study Riley's Comp 1 and you think, well, I'm ready to play a gig now, and you go and try to plug those in as licks. It doesn't work that way. You have to work it from the other perspective as like you learn to speak the whatever native language that you speak. You learn by mimicking the people that were around you.